Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about progressions, and they're basic. All most technical progressions come from very simple ones and very simple concepts in music. Um, Music is cyclic, and everything we do in music is circle of fives. So the order of sharps, the order of flats, um, they're all in fives. So for example, if we start with a central um, tone, which is concert C, if we find in the order of sharps, we move five up, and we keep on moving five up to get the order of sharps. So the first sharp would be G, which is five from C. The two sharps would be D, which is five from G, and three sharps would be A, five from D, and so on and so forth. And the reverse is true. First flat is 5 from C, which will be F, which is 5 down. And the next flat, two flats, would be B flat, which is a flat, and so on and so forth. So the concept of everything we do in music is basically always around fives. So, like for example, a progression, if you hear something, if you listen carefully in the bass, you can tell that's moving in fives. So that's one. Usually progressions just move like that, almost, right? Even if we get a little bit complicated. So say for example, we move from 1 to 5 to 2 to 5. Alright, or we could go 1, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So 1 to 3 is not a 5, but we have some what you call it, some free spots. And then once we get to those spots, then we can move. As complicated, think about any progressions that you may have heard. They're always, you can pick up, and sometimes you're in a setting and you say, this musician can catch this thing so quickly, and we've never practiced, for example. But it's the constant progressions of fives that will cause them to, predetermine where the melody is going. So for example, if you go here, if you move down 1, which would be a 7, 3, that would be a 5 from that, then you go 6, so 5, 2, then 5, then back to 1. Right, so that's why dominance and our fives are really important, because they use them as transitional chords to other keys. So for example, if you go into a new key, use a 5. So if you're in C major and want to go to G, we're there, right? And we can always, come back. So if I want to go to G for a little bit, come back. But if we're going to G as a new key, you can use the 5 as that. Or if we don't want to go so far, we can go to C and we're moving just a step up. 5 of C sharp and we're there. And 5 of B and we're there. So on and so forth, right? 5 of A flat. So it's that concept. Now, if you get really crazy, if you want to get really crazy, then you can find clever ways of getting it into the key without using those type of things. So for example, if I'm here in C major and my destination chord is, destination key is, let's say for example, is G, right? I look for familiar things that really with progression within the C and get there, right? So remember, I'm going to G, so from C, I'm just going to play around. in that case, I use the 4 of G, which is also 1 in C, as a transitional chord. But I end up going to the 5 of G, but I did it in an inverted way. So I went, so that would be the 4, but I inverted the bass. So I have an E in the bass, and then I move the same progression to D. Right? D is 5 of G, and I'm right into G. Right? Another way. So I could do, let's say for example, C again. I want to get to E flat. Right? So I look what is familiar there. C and E flat. C major is not a chord in E flat. C major is what we call a secondary dominant. So C major can be a 5 of something that is in E flat. So say for example, C major is dominant of F, and F is 2 in the E flat. So if I'm in C major, I'm in E flat, right? So I'm in C, I'm fooling around. Gospel. So that's how progressions really work. And sometimes if you want to step up your playing a little bit, if you used to just play the root chords, nothing is wrong with root chords, because we need to have the basics. But if you want to just beef them up a little bit, all you have to do sometimes is perhaps some spacing. So for example, if we're holding a C major, right, it's close. And if we're doing spacing and just do a substitution, then we get a better feel of a C major chord. So for example, if you notice, both my hands are in root position. So if I extend that position, so if I have like a C, a G, and an E in the left hand, right, I have some room to do. I can do that. Or if I want to make it so a little more even and interesting, add the 9, which is D, right? So you could use a suspended note to the C, or you can hold it. Here's another version of it. So now in this case, I'm adding also the A, the D, and the G. They call these quartal chords. So I'm holding the properties of C major in my left hand, but then I'm holding like 4 of E, 4 of A, 4 of D. I'll get a nice chord there. But it's still being a substitution of C major. So yeah, so that's how it is. And we could walk it up, you know. Always want you to watch. Make a groove out of it. That's how it is. So you can work on those and build your chord vocabulary. I know there are a lot of videos out there talking about chords and how you can build on them and that type of thing. So if you're a simple player like myself, then you can work on those. So work on inversions, right? Different voicings of them. and you'll get there. Alright, so beef it up. You'll get there. Alright, so see you next time. Good.